Flash is now out and in theaters, and its first night of being out at the box office is now in the books, and we now know how much money the movie made. Now, Flash coming into this weekend, it had a lower than I expected critic rating, to be honest with you. Like, I love the film. I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think it's the best DCU film. That's still Man of Steel, but I think it might be my second favorite DCEU film up until this point. And I honestly thought the critic rating would be higher, but the audience scores are pretty high. Let's take a look here. So as of right now, with 265 critic reviews in, it's sitting at 68%, which means 68% of the critics like it, 32% of the critics don't. That's fine. The audience score right now is sitting at a verified audience score of 86%, which is pretty strong. That's good. But how is it going to do? I've been saying for a while that I'm not really sure how much people are going to rush out to go see this, right? I said before, I wouldn't be surprised if Flash made 40 million opening weekend. I wouldn't be surprised if it made 120 million opening weekend. Well, we knew the projections were around $70 million, but now we have an opening night number. And this comes to us from the folks over at CBR who wrote, according to Deadline, the Scarlet Speedster's first solo theatrical outing made $9 million in Thursday night previews, which began at 3 p.m. That number comes in below the $17.35 million that Sony Animation's Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse made from Thursday night previews. It's also worse than the $11 million that Wonder Woman made back in 2017. However, The Flash's Thursday is similar to Sony Marvel's Venom movie that made $10 million on its opening night, Marvel Studios' Doctor Strange that made 9.4, almost exactly the same, and DC's Aquaman, which made right on the money $9 million. The Flash is currently tracking to open between 70 and 75 million, though some analysts believe it could hit as high as 80 million, and some analysts are saying it could be as low as about 68 million. Okay. So Flash makes $9 million on its opening night. Well, that's not going to translate into. We can't know for sure, but let's look at a couple of those movies that they mentioned in the article that made similar numbers. Doctor Strange, which made, I believe they said 9.4 million, so almost identical to what Flash made, and Aquaman, which made 9 million, right on the money. Well, in the terms of Aquaman, that made 9 million on its opening night, it went on to make $67.8 million on its opening weekend, on its way to a $1.1 billion haul at the box office. Doctor Strange, on the other hand, which made just a little bit more than The Flash did on its opening night, it made 9.4 million. It went on to have a much bigger opening weekend at 85 million, went on to make a really respectable $677 million. So what does that tell us? Well, it tells us that range that the box office projections are giving Flash from anywhere from $68 million to like $80 million is probably right in the ballpark. Again, if we look at this graphic, all three of these movies made about 9 million opening night. On the low end, Aquaman 67.8. On the high end, 85 for Doctor Strange. Now, I've contended that I believe that word of mouth on Flash is going to be pretty strong. And I believe we're going to see closer to the $75 million opening weekend number. So I think by the time Monday rolls around, we're going to see that $75 million open. Then how well it does beyond that, anybody's guess. I don't think it's going to get as high as Aquaman's 1.1 billion. I've been saying the whole time, no matter how good I personally think Flash is, it's not going to be $1 billion film. If it's good and the word of mouth continues strong, it could get in close to that Doctor Strange number of $677 million. But again, that's really dependent on how much word of mouth carries after this opening weekend. We want to take a second to thank a sponsor of today's video, MasterClass. With MasterClass, you can learn from the world's best minds anytime, anywhere, and at your own pace. You can learn filmmaking from James Cameron himself, you know, the guy who made 3 of the 4 biggest films of all time. Improve your writing by taking screenwriting from one of the greatest who's ever done it, Aaron Sorkin. Or maybe learn how to make great comedic content by taking comedy by the one and the only Judd Apatow. And many of you guys know I'm a big poker guy, and I recently got a chance to sit down and watch Daniel Negreanu, one of the greatest poker players in the world, teach poker. It was absolutely fantastic. But guys, whatever you're interested in, there is a class for you with over 180 exclusive classes taught by the instructors you know and love. And you can explore lessons in any order you'd like across your phone, tablet, Apple TV, computer, and on the go with audio mode. Individual lessons range from about 10 to 15 minutes in length that fit easily
easily into your everyday life. Guys, I highly recommend you check it out. Get unlimited access to every class, and as a John Campea Show listener, you get 15% off an annual membership. Go to masterclass.com/Campea now. That's masterclass.com/Campea for 15% off Masterclass.
Question is for you guys. What do you think about this? Flash has made $9 million on its opening night, which seems to be right in line with where the projection said it was going to be. How big of an opening weekend will it have? Do you think it'll be closer to that Aquaman number of 67 million? Do you think it'll be closer to that Doctor Strange number of 85 million? Or will it be lower or higher than any of those? Have you seen the film? Are you planning to go out and see it? Whatever you guys think about that, jump down to the comment section below and let us know your thoughts. Hey guys, thanks for checking out our video. Make sure you click the thumbs up button on it and subscribe to our channel. Also, don't forget that we do a daily podcast called the John Campea Show Podcast. Go and subscribe to it today on your favorite podcasting app of choice.